This is the Yerushalmi Peah Daf Yudalid in the article of Osva edition. We're starting from the fourth line down. Last one line, Kamada Tamar, and in the Vilna, it is the first wide line, Chesam and Base. Kamada Tamar Gabi Katsir, just like we say by harvesting for the Omer. There's criteria of something which you gather at one time, and then you'll be able to stockpile it. That's Laila Peah. Omer Apapoke. A pole is allowed to eat as he's working in the field. Or maybe that he can only eat from something which is already time, that's the kita, a time when you're gathering all of it, and something which you're going to be able to be machnis lakiyum, something which you'll be able to stockpile. Amar Bier said shani. No, it's different because here the language used by pole is nemar because taflin los biyadecha. Taflin los biyadecha. Melilos evidently are kernels of grain, and you can't stockpile the young kernels of grain which quickly dry out, and you can't stockpile them. Also, it's not a kitas kachas because the kernels of grain are waiting until the entire, waiting until the kita altogether, right? So it means you don't need to have the kitas kachas. Okay, so feel me davish enel q. Tani Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yehuda Omer roitev tamarim peturim min ha peah. Literally it's the sauce of tamarim, the tamarim gravy. But obviously it's a certain type of date, not a date gravy. The example in a peah fish ein research ben mamtin laachron yos. The first one becomes fully ripe and is harvested off the tree, or maybe it falls off the tree before the last one is starts before the last one starts to develop, before the last one's fully developed. In other words, its point is that it's not likitaso ka'achas. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda, my timer the Rabbanan. What's the source for the Rabbanan? So evidently this is Divrei Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Yehuda. If it's Divrei Rabbi Yossi, there must be Rabbanan argue. How can they argue? It's not like he does a gachas these tomorrow. So he says, they all are metil sar. Metil sar is with the time when they get to a certain degree of ripeness, that when if you gather them at that time and you spread them, I guess in order that they should dry somewhat, they'll be suitable to eat. So this, we don't know exactly what this means. Metil and sar, I guess it gets certain cracks or folds in it. I don't know exactly because Tunisor obviously is language from Chametz, and so it starts expanding. So this is some sort of a type of expansion which takes place with these tamarim, and that happens at the same time. So I said before, maybe they don't even maybe they publish before the new ones start. No. They all get to this phase of Metilim Sor at the same time. It's later on to get the full ripeness, which they're staggered. So that's Rabbanan hold the fact that they get to partial ripeness, the Chiyuv Meisros together, is sufficient to call the Kitas Kachas, whereas Rabbi Yossi argues. Rabbi Yitzchak Chakula, Rabbi Yoshua. I should I didn't even point this out. I didn't realize it. In our Gemara it says, it's the Kavanaki who says that Matilin Sor. I guess that's the language which is used elsewhere. Yerushalmi and Meisros, also put down the Rash, so therefore he changed the Lashon from Tzrichim to Matilin. Rabbi Yeshua Levi Tarvan Army, they both said Kulkus Yerek Umaisros Ushvis Ulepel. Well, kulkus is a type of a legume, and evidently grows in Egypt, and you eat its roots. That's what the Aruch says. So it's like a vegetable, not like a tree, for the purposes of Maisros Ushvis. So it goes Maisros and Shvis go therefore after Rosh Chodesh Tishrei, not Tu B'Shvat, and the Shemitah, that you're not allowed to eat them on as Yeah, and you're not allowed to eat them during Shemitah because they're sfichim. If they go wild, it's the Rabbanim eating things which grow wild, which could be cultivated. So therefore, it's like a vegetable in terms of meiser, shana and shviz. That can be sfichim ula peah, and for peah as well, it's um, this is evidently clear from the beginning of the second parak. As we in the second parak, it says. Uh, mm-hmm. Raspberries. Yes, because all the vegetables, obviously for pears, that what he means. And I don't know what Kavanaki means here. Not sure why he's bringing it down. Okay, I guess we'll get there and find out. Meantime, it's like vegetables for pear that it's not considered to be and therefore you're going to be exempt. It would be kurim. Um, for the purpose of bikurim. Oh, there's more words here in the in the Kavanaki than there is in our Gemara. He has kukus liyerek, kiyerek, lepeah, or maisos. We have pay afterwards. We have he has a pay maisos shviz. He has a that pay maisos shviz. We have a maisos shviz lepeah, and then he does not have bikurim because presumably bikurim is a double pashut that if it's a vegetable, it's not going to be bikurim. The gears he has here is the kilayim. For kilayim, it's considered to be not a tree, and therefore it makes kilayim in a keren. If you plant it in a vineyard. Ulenedarim tzvicha. But in terms of the darim, if it's the person takes the nether not to eat vegetables, does that include kukus? It does not include kukus. Tzvicha. Tzvicha is like tzarechim. What we would say in the Bavli, teku. Right? We're not sure. It remains unresolved. Um, uh, the your dad's brought down another mayor. Nistapik b'Yerushalmi also b'kokus. Your dad ratio zayin vav. Okay, so but the Girsa would be Kurim. Who else has this Girsa? Who doesn't? The only the plain motion really says anything. It's very difficult. He says don't be Kurim because it's not Mashivas Aminim. That's Pashut, right? So therefore, why would have the Girsa be Kurim? I mean, obviously, if it even was a tree, we wouldn't bring it from. If it wasn't a vegetable, it wouldn't be Shivas Shach to be Kurim. That's why Kilayim. That Girsa Kilayim is much more easy to understand. Okay, halacha hey. Lola munosi mishum peah upatim min ha'maisrus. Uh, the the halacha is that you still have to get peah once you harvested, and you're still exempt from maisrus. Ad shemarech until the pile is smoothed over. And the time when you chayim and chumas and maisrus, and you can't eat from the produce until it's meiser is when the pile is smooth, and that so until then you can still take a payout from the grain, either from the sheaves or from the grain, even after if it's threshed. V'noita mina goren you can take from the silo, v'zorea and plant it, but still before miroch upatim mina meisus. You don't get meisus ad shemirech until you smooth the pile. Machle bema chaya ofu upatim mina meisus. You give it to animals to eat, and you put it from meisus ad shemirech. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. The that is Rabbi Akiva. The question is evidently what Rabbanan hold. The name Moshe says He would say the Ami Rabbanan Potter Azor Mina Meiser Achimerech Vein Halacha Krabi Akiva. So I should start from the beginning of that name, Moshe. It says V'Zorea Mina Torah Hazorea Potter Mina Meiser V'Acha Miruach Siba Serta Seir V'Chalta. Even after miruach, you don't have to. If you planted those seeds, you don't have to meiser them. Then come chalta those achila midrabban also lizor tevel. You don't have to plant any tevel. But I feel kodem miruach, even before miruach, actually aser until you take off meiser. If you was really that midrabban potter zer min meiser, no, even rabban it's potter ach mirech till the pile smooth. Ain't halach Rabbi Akiva, halach is not Rabbi Akiva. Kohen b'levi shlokas hagoren. So the says the Pnei Moshe Shekonu es hagoren hatronoka tvora. They bought the produce minagoren from the silo. Hamaisa shlem, the maisa belonged to them. Achim arech, they until the miruach. Ve'enam tzvichim l'seis hachuma maisa l'kohen levi acher. Don't give the true maisa to other kohanim or lebim. Akona acha miruach. They took after miruach. Tzichin la'afresh hachuma maisa belite no some l'kohen levi acher. They had to come to other Kohanim not to keep themselves. The first Gemara, where it says the Knas Konsulhem, they find them because they jumped the gun. They shlo you koftzin legitos the grounds should jump over to the presses and to the silos. Lichnos hatfua yain to buy the grain or the wine. And according to lost others. It was before miruach, so then that's okay. Chachamim didn't count to them. Or they bought it after miruach. Says of course they have to take shul but they don't give them off to anybody else. Makdish poida, somebody who's makdish his grain and redeems it. In other words, he's makdish before miruach and redeems it before miruach. He's potter he's chayiv min ha'ma'asros because at time miruach belonged to Hediel, to a commoner. Achimech gizbar. It's only potter if the gizbar is the one that had treasure of hektish, the one who does the actual miruach. Rabbi Yosef says, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yaakov, Rabbi Ziv Day, B'Shem Ravo, Rabbi Nechem, Rabbi Ukvan, Matiba. Some people are inclined to say, the B'Shem Rabbi Yochanan, and this is the name Rabbi Yochanan. If bikurim mikri mimurach, if a person took a bikurim from a smooth pile, part of the truma gedolah. So example, giving the truma. Truma gedolah is opposed to bikurim. It says Bnei Moshe. Minhosam bikurim is part of the mitzvahs bikurim lafish min hamechubar. The mitzvah bikurim is to separate from that which is still connected to the ground. Now, Reish Perigim the bikurim yored adam the yosel tokse. A person goes down to his field. V'roatena shebikra. He sees a fig growing its first fruit. Eshkol shebikar, a cluster of the grapes, the first cluster. Kosher begemi, he ties it with hemp. It says Harei elu bikurim. These are bikurim. Min lo efrish min hamechubar. If he didn't do it while it's still connected to the ground, Yahweh just told me not tolish. He takes it already from what's severed from the ground. Mashkamar, now it's saying, they didn't take off even until after you mimarech. Salka daita chami, I might have thought, the cave on, shamiruach mechayiv is the chumas semaisis. Since miruach is the time when the comes chayim chumas semaisis, tzarech avish gam yotzim bikurim. You have to take also from those bikurim kidei shira chuma mehem, the shir of chuma from them as well. He'll come out that feel hachi patim chuma gedolim wasn't bikurim. No, you're parted from the chuma gedolim from the bikurim. The answer avish kim mishar hakri. You only take off chuma from the rest of the batch. Kedin chumas maisus according to the standard practice of chumas maisus. So the Gemara says, there's a raya for this from our Mishnah. Rabbi Chagai Kukumi Rabbi Yossi Masdina Amar Kain. Our Mishnah teaches this, that until it ain't over till it's over. It ain't over till it's miruach. Because we said here, Lo Munosim Shupea Patim Min HaMaiser Ad Shmerech. Right? Oh no, it's a question. No. That's actually that's the deal. So ha'imireach chayev. So but pay, that means peah and meiser. you're parted from till the time of miruach and no more. But if you're mimareach, you're chayiv. But it's only by peah and by meiser. Um, the mashenkin but truma. So truma is a different status. So question is, what is that? Why is there a different status? So the Rashash says at the bottom here of the Gemara. Masisa McCain custom farish mina misnisi shviraya shall be kurim alol shifrish mikri mimurach. These bikurim took off from the smooth pot mishum magdala. Sem chul the mitani olam menosim mishum peah b'chule ad shemerech. V'merech chayev es peah b'maiser. Where he didn't be ruach, and even the peah taking off has to be meiser. Lamani ki tafka meiser. Why is it meiser below? Gam kein truma. Elevadai de ein ha peah chayev es b'truma afal achar miruach. But the peah is not required to have truma taken off it even after miruach. V'odim bikurim, bikurim as well. Shetam echad l'tarvayu. For the same reason. Akal shonam meforish. So the Farish is one of the earlier Mefarshim in the Yerushalmi. So Niska Batsido, what's the reason? The Kashem Shah Peah, Lefish Ain Lebailim, Betumin Truma, just like Peah, because it doesn't belong to the owner, it's exempt from Truma. Who adim Bikurim She'ain Lebailim Elakoin. In other words, the just like Peah, because it goes to the name, it's exempt. Bikurim, because they go to the Kohen, so it would be a kind of like a double jeopardy to have to give truma from it. So the bikurim, even after miruach, you don't have to give from them to the truma. Yeah, we are now up to the second line of Daf Tezvav. So that's it for today.